This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Gentlemen, look upon the lens flare. J.J. Abrams would be proud. Perhaps that's what inspired him to bring about his future works. And I almost hate the game for it. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Mass Effect. In the last episode, well, we started the game. We built our Shepard, and we've been forced to go to Eden Prime to figure out what's been going on with the colony there. They've been it seems like they're under attack by some foreign vessel that we are not aware of. At least no one mentioned anything, so no one's aware of it. So me, Kaiden, and Jenkins have come to put a stop to it. What do you say, boys? The three amigos here together? We are birds of a feather. We'll have some grand adventure together. Jenkins, I have a good feeling about you. We're going to be here till the end of time, till the end of this adventure. I see you surviving this whole thing and seeing where this journey takes us. Oh, I can't wait to show you, Jenkins. You seem like a nice up-and-comer. I'd hate for something to happen to you, but I'll be here to watch your back. Nothing will happen to you, no. Oh, whatever.
What are those? Gas bags. Don't worry, they're harmless.
Gas bags? Isn't that some type of threat? Well, take this gas bag. Huh. Oh. All right, calm down, Kaiden. But yeah, these things are here to kind of mainly for test, for practice, just to kind of get you used to the controls and everything like that. We haven't built. Oh, I guess before we start, let's look at our squad for first of all. We actually, I probably should have saved doing that. Like last episode, I went over this. I probably should have saved it for now because now we're actually in a combat scenario. Maybe we would have made the last episode a bit smoother. I'll try to over the course of this game try to find ways to like do certain content and smooth it out and make it a more like go through a lot cleaner because this game is long and we could easily get bogged down with like side quests, talking to characters, the codex and everything like that, and I don't want a whole episode of just like listening to the codex, stuff like that. So I'll try to do a good job overall. But anyway, let's look at our other characters. Kaiden is one of our first companions. He is a Sentinel class, so he is one of the first mixed classes that we get, as I mentioned in the last episode. So he's a bit of he has like a couple of the abilities from, you know, the adept class as well as the engineer class. So he can help you in kind of a little bit, not strong in both, but you know. So he's got throw, so allows you to basically throw projectiles and at the they throw mass effect fields at people to push them and pull them away, or push them away. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying pull them. That's a different ability. Almost the force. Almost the force. If they've got a biotech or if they've got a mass effect field on them, then throw won't push the target. But if they, you can tell like when enemies have like a mass effect field or a biotic field or whatever you want to call it, they'll have like I think it's a like a purple circle on them during their HP bar. I don't know if it's, I don't think the gas bags show any. Yeah, because you can kill them instantly, it can't show it. Okay. Well, anyway, characters will have like a life bar, and they'll have like different bars surrounding it, depending on what their strengths are. And if you have a purple bar, it's a biotic field. If it's a yellow bar, it's armor. I think it was the later games when they added different ones. But anyway, in this game, it's you can't just throw everything. If it has that shield, like bosses, you won't be able to throw them around and stuff like that. But you can still hit them with the throw. It will do damage. It just won't like fling them away, stuff like that. Lift, we'll have to get lift, we'll have to point. Yeah, if you can see on the bar here, you see this little throw menu. If we put levels into it, and it says like how many points per thing, and it shows like how strong the force of the throw is, like how many newtons of force. As soon as we get to this little lock here after leveling up, we can finally lift up into lift. I'll talk. Lift allows you to basically pull the target upwards, which will render them immobile. And this is good for like, basically you like lift them and then you target them while you're doing that, so all your allies can shoot them while they're doing that and lower their HP. This is really nice on like heavy sponge enemies that get lifted. So you break their biotic field, you lift them, and then start blasting away at their health until they restore their field or whatever happens, or before they fall back on the ground. Throw is a pretty useful ability for the most part in this game. It gets more useful later on, but yeah, lift is a cool one as well. And if you when you level up further, it'll lift further, pull more targets, and it's more accurate. It you know increases reach charge time and accuracy, as it says right there. So You definitely want to try to get to your master in any of these throws so you can get the most use out of them, especially for later on in the game. Barrier, one of the most useful abilities for any adept or person who can use biotics. This basically throws up a biotic barrier that allow to absorb damage. This is one of the most helpful abilities for those who aren't used to playing, and if you're playing on harder difficulty, so your characters don't get knocked out as easily as they do. So this can definitely make kind of a useful character. Depending on what playthrough I am, I guess I'll talk about character usefulness later, but yeah, this can definitely help him survive a bit longer on the harder difficulties even. But yeah, the bio barrier, if you raise it, it just lasts longer, absorbs more damage, stuff like that. So that one's pretty straightforward. Stasis, this one's another cool one. This one is more to keep a target pinned or stuck somewhere while you deal with someone else for a while, because you can't do damage when you stasis them. It just basically paralyzes them. But yeah, use this I don't use this one as much, even on the harder difficulties, but I could see in many situations this being useful if you've got like a big lug of a target and you're like, oh man, well, let me get rid of these small guys. Let me stasis the big guy first and then we'll get to him. But I don't recall using stasis as often, even on the harder modes, but it's something to consider. And yeah, just lasts longer on higher difficulties, or higher levels, stuff like that. Decryption, this is the one that will overheat weapons. This can be pretty useful depending on the fights you do. This is mainly useful against human targets that use weapons and stuff like that. So basically, it puts their, other than do damage, it allows them to stop attacking you for like a few seconds. So that can allow you to either hide or heal or stuff like that. And the higher the level, the more damage, explosion it goes. As you can see there, it does more damage overall. So that's definitely a very handy one to have. Electronics. This does damage to shields. This is definitely a very useful ability. This is more useful on the higher difficulties when everyone has shields. Oh yeah, shields was the third attribute people can have. They can have biotic shields, or they can have biotics. They can have electric or shields, and then they can have armor. A lot of human targets tend to have shields, as well as certain other enemies. But yeah, on higher difficulties, when everyone has protection, you definitely want someone with electronics in your group to break shields, whether it be you or one of your companions. And basically, the higher the level, the more damage it does to the skill, and it can also expand outside that point to hit other targets, possibly. And then first aid, this allows you to... when you heal someone with it, you can heal your party members. So there is a healing item you can use in the game, but this is an ability to heal outside of that use. This can be very useful on the higher difficulties as well. Not so much on casual or normal so much, but if you're playing this in hard mode or harder modes, then yeah, definitely this is another good ability. And yeah, it's just higher mode, heals more people really quickly. Medicine, this is basically... one, it improves like recharge time on your squad healing overall, but also does neural damage, which as long as your target doesn't have like a shield around them or a biotic or an armor, it'll take off little bits of damage like a poison or something like that. So when you activate neural shock, and then yeah, the rest of the ability is reducing cooldown of first aid, so it kind of goes in tandem, which is pretty nice. Like I said, more neural shock could be very useful at another one that's useful at the higher levels when you knock down all the enemies' defenses, because then you can start getting those who are HP sponges. You can start whittling down their attacks. So, and then Sentinel, this is just an overall level. It basically builds up your class, and as you can see there, it basically improves your cooldown times and damage and stuff like that. So this is one you definitely want to start picking up on at some point. Since we're playing on a little bit of a harder difficulty, I definitely want to get barrier activated, because I actually had to buy that, and first aid. I usually save this straight one for later. I usually try to get some of my other abilities up. It depends on how close I am to a point or whatever. So anyway, we got Jenkins here. He's just a standard soldier class. Excellent. Since I'm not a soldier, we're going to be using him for quite a long time. They can max out all the abilities and skills. These are pretty straightforward. What they do, like, they basically just do better damage and accuracy the more you level up. Now, each weapon does have a special skill, Marksman allows you to, for so many seconds, to shoot like really, really fast. That's why almost like pistol and assault rifles are really good, because they both have the same like ability. Like a rifle has overkill, which is basically the same thing. It just shoots really fast. It's a little bit less accurate than the pistol when it comes to its marksman, if I recall. But I actually like when you're given a class with just the pistol and you activate like marksman, it can almost be just as useful as the assault rifle, even though assault rifles do more damage. But yeah, that's why I kind of like the assault rifle and pistol one. But shotguns can be cool. They have a thing called Carnage, which allows you to, at point blank range, do like a ton of damage, and it can actually spread out quite a bit. I don't use Carnage as much, but if you're playing like a Vanguard or that type of build, that can be a very useful combination to have. That's why Vanguards can be dangerous to do a lot of damage, but you have to be kind of play them right to make them effective on higher difficulties. Sniper rifles, these can be useful on the higher difficulties. These are really useful, very useful weapon class to use, because then you can snipe enemies from afar while sneaking to cover, and then snipe them from far away before you get into those crazy firefights. At the lower levels, you don't have to worry about this as much, but yeah, assassination does like a ton of damage to them. Obviously, if they have their shields up, it won't do as much, but yeah, definitely a different play style depending on how you're playing. Definitely don't want to go in guns first with the sniper rifle. Combat armor basically improves your... This is why the soldier class is really good for higher difficulties, because combat armor is one of those really good ones where it gives you damage reduction and hardening, which means it's harder to get blasted back if you have hardening, and damage reduction is pretty straightforward. Shield boost also restores your shields if they go down. So that's like, in a higher difficulty, your shields will be taken down pretty quickly. And yeah, this unlocks first aid. And then the higher up you go, you can actually equip heavy armor. So you definitely want to max out. If you're playing on harder difficulties, you would definitely want to look into maxing out combat armor very soon. We already did first aid. Assault training, this improves your melee damage as well as weapon damage. Melee damage, in this game, you can actually run up to targets and start punching them. On higher difficulties, that's almost not suggested because of how dangerous that can be. But it does give you damage increase your weapon damage just overall. And the big thing about this is adrenaline boost, which basically allows you to do all your talents all over again. So if you've got like marksman or whatever, or shield boost or whatever, and you've used those out, just activate adrenaline boost and get all those back. And those could be pretty handy in a dangerous combat situation. Then you get fitness with this one, which that one's pure health. This is why soldiers are good, because they get just a straight HP increase. Also, they get increased damage protection with immunity when you activate it. So, like I said, damage sponge. So you definitely want a soldier in your group. That's why most new players probably should play the soldier, just because if they're not sure, and also the soldier gets regeneration and stuff like that. That's, like I said, that's probably why it's one of the best classes for hard mode. Just it's prepared for that. So man, with Jenkins built like that way, he's gonna last a really long time. Man, I can't wait to get him out in the field. Oh man, all right, gotta go soldier. Yeah, I'll just go with assault rifle. No pistols. No pistols for you. So, and then we're gonna do me. I get basic armor, which gives me some light armor and shield boost. Most people can do basic armor, can do that. It just won't be as good as like heavy armor and stuff like that. But yeah, luckily we get shield boost and all that as well. Pistol, same thing. I also, as a adept, I get throw, I get lift, but I also get two new abilities that the Sentinel doesn't get. Warp, which is a DPS attack. It basically does damage per second, but the cool thing about it is that when it activates, it reduces the damage protection against the enemy, so they become easier to hit. So this is good against your big group targets and stuff like that. And then at higher levels, it does last longer. That's why I like the adept class, because it can do stuff like that. Or if you have an adept in your group, that can help for higher difficulties. Singularity, this is really cool. This one's a really fun ability as well. Can't wait to show that off later on in the game. It'll be a while till we could get to that. It basically causes like a vortex, or, well, I can't really say black hole because it would just suck them up into it, but it causes a mini vortex and it just like draws them all together and then spins and spits them out. It's pretty fun to do. It only works if they don't have any shields on. So this is one you'll probably use more often on normal and easier difficulties, because most people won't have their shields. On harder mode, you have to build up to that, but when you knock someone out of their defenses and cast Singularity on them, it's glorious. But yeah, we also get Barrier, which I want that one on this hard difficulty. We also get stasis as well. Since I bought assault rifles, I could. I'm not going to do that quite yet. I think it's a bit early to build up into a weapon type. But I chose assault rifles just because it does more damage. Yeah, adrenaline, advanced overkill does have less accuracy, but I feel like it's a. I mean, both could work. I mean, they're both good weapons, but I'll choose assault rifle in this case. An adept for us, we get just like with the Kaiden's thing, we get it just improves our biotic talents, and it also protects our protection against biotic protection, stuff like that. And then we talked about charm and intimidate. Like I said, don't buy those until don't. If you're trying to go through for a pure, man, I'm taking forever just to discuss the combat. I should be getting into the story, but I feel like it's best to get this out of the way now because I won't talk about it later because we've already talked about it. Don't do charm and intimidate because if you want to maximize your character levels, don't. The game will reward you with these later on. You just, I mean, you can if you want to get if you're just playing through the one time and you don't care about maximizing your player, which really isn't important unless you're doing hard mode or insanity or whatever. Then I can understand just buying these straight out. But yeah, so I want to do barrier. I mean, I will. I was gonna hold off on assault rifle, but yeah, let's go and do that. Do I want to improve barrier at this? I mean, we're playing the next step in difficulty, but it's not that crazy. Yeah, we're not. Nothing on this level has biotic damage, so I don't have to worry about that. It might be. Yeah, it might be good to just get basic armor. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay. Well, now that we've okay, then yeah, if you want to attack, you press the right trigger, and it goes in attack mode. If you want to focus, you press left trigger. The shoulder buttons, if you hold on to them, allows you to swap out your weapons for you and your enemies and your players. So it actually tells you on the side there which enemies, which weapons you can use. You can still use the weapon on train. It's just highly, inaccurate, and you don't get the abilities of it, so it's almost not worth it. So, and yeah, Jenkins, he can equip everything. So, and then Kaiden can only equip the pistol, which is fine. And then if you hold down, okay, yeah, and then when you do that, switch to target. If you hold down the right bumper, it shows their abilities and stuff like that. On easy mode and normal mode, the AI, your players will kind of do that on their own, not efficiently, but it'll work just enough. But if you're in the harder difficulties, you'll probably want to take control of this more often to make full utilization of your abilities. Yeah, I should know. In insanity mode, I had to pay attention to this quite often. So this is the quick mode. You can map some of these abilities to make it easier to just click on them instead of having to like highlight the bar to do that. You can basically have them be a specific button press and whatever. A is to charge. B puts up your weapon. Y puts it back on if you don't press X to do that. And then looks like Y does it as well, actually. You can talk to your characters, but they...
God, what happened here?
They usually don't say much outside of like social scenarios. They'll say like maybe 1 or 2 lines, and then they say get back to it, basically.
Oh, God.
Yeah, see, they'll just repeat, which is fine. We're in a combat scenario. We're just not supposed to be talking our ears off. Okay. Well, let's get to this. We already defeated those gas bags, so that's all we have to face here. Ha ha! Come on, Jenkins, Kaiden. Time to save Eden Prime for whatever it is. This is going to be a glorious adventure. Can't believe it took me 15 minutes to discuss what was going on there. I thought... Okay, there we go. In the overworld area, you can actually explore stuff and collect stuff. So you want to kind of take a look around and see what you can find. So in this case, since it's an RPG, we get like weapon upgrades / so we have to improve like basically our weapons as well as our skills and everything like that. They streamlined this in the second and third game, sadly, which I understand, but I kind of wish they kept some of the RPG elements in it. It can get a little bit bogged down later on, especially when you kind of max out the power of your players and you kind of start getting repeating items and stuff like that. If for some reason I didn't want to take these items, I could reduce it to Omnigel, which is used to like open... If I remember correctly, is supposed to be used for like opening certain doors and healing and stuff like that. Right now we want to obviously take this stuff. Oh, there's the Medi Gel. That's where we heal. Yeah, Omnigel is like, it's kind of weird. We'll get to that when we get to that. So, I don't think I can I do any, we'll just equip our stuff right now. It is under, yeah. Oh, and you can also turn off your, shields if you don't like having the shield on, or helmet on, like for RP purposes. I just leave it on just for, you can also look at like what the weapon is and what its descriptions are. I'll read the first one, but I'll save like item descriptions for later. I don't want to do that all in one episode. Reliable and efficient, Earth-based Hein Kaidar has become a major supplier to the System Alliance military. Their weapons are considered stock quality at best, but their armor lines are generally recognized as above average. Assault rifles are the standard armament of most soldiers, offering a good balance between firepower, range, and accuracy. But anyway, if we want to upgrade that, we press the X button, and then it tells us what it does. So for recoil dampener, this improves our stability when using the weapon. So when you shoot the weapon, depending on the weapon, it might kick up or down or left or right, or depending on, usually it kicks up. This is supposed to prevent that slightly, so it doesn't go crazy when you just like hold down the button. Or this improves accuracy. For assault rifles, I tend to do stability. And then since we only have that, we'll give Kaiden the, because we'll give Kaiden the other one because Jenkins is too good for that. He's perfectly good at what he is. Let me show you something like when it comes to kickback. See how like the circle spreads out? That's kind of the stability thing going on. Also, if you see on the bottom right there, you see that like red target there. In this game, there's no ammo. There's just overheating of the weapon. So you can shoot as much as you want, but as soon as it hits the red, you'll have to wait like so many seconds for your gun to cool down. So keep that in mind while playing, especially on the higher difficulties and stuff like that. So anyway, with that, I think that's all we can actually, I think that's the only secret item we can, that was that upgrade kit, I think. Let me do a quick run around while we're doing this just to make sure. I think it was. The first area doesn't have as much stuff to collect, but it never hurts to check. And if you miss something, it's not that big of a deal. A lot of the stuff is, a lot of the stuff you get in those chests is based off your level. So at higher levels, certain random things you grab will have different items in that. So there are some items that are guaranteed pickups, but a lot of times it's going to be random. So it's almost worth not having to pick up every single thing, because then you, maybe when you come back at a later level and pick it up, you might get a better level item or whatever. So, man, look at the danger. Jenkins, no! Yeah, you didn't see that coming, folks. Yep, Jenkins is the first to fall as he suffers from red shirt syndrome. So these guys shouldn't kill us, but I'm going to. I have to be careful anyway, just in case, because I'm playing on a harder mode. So like that. Yeah, this is our first battle in the game. These are pretty easy, but you know, on higher modes, I have to be careful about. Man, Jenkins, I can't believe he died. Like, he just, the first battle in the game, he died.
Ripped right through his shields. You're out of chance.
And this is what you get when you're a cocky farm boy thinking you're ready for adventure. Deserters of Baylor, we can't help him now. Forget about him. He's a lost cause.
Leave him. We need to finish the mission.
Aye, aye, sir.
We kind of have to. I mean, we have something to do. But yeah, that's it for Jenkins. He just.
Time will never be the same again.
I mean, I hate to laugh at it, but it's just kind of funny with how obvious he was set up to be a red shirt. Like, the funny thing is, I actually did, when I first played the game, I was like, oh, he's gonna die. He just screams like a red shirt. But I didn't expect him to die that fast. I thought he'd die like maybe near the end or halfway through to kind of indicate the threat that the creatures face, or you know what they do. But no, he dies at the very first combat encounter. Okay, so I probably don't have to do this for every single encounter. I'm just kind of doing this just to be whoops, nope, I don't want to do that. Oh, I guess I'm not targeting him, so I guess I'll hit that guy. Yeah, you have to be. Yeah, luckily they're not doing too much damage. It kind of took a couple hits, but.
Here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
Yeah, you have to be careful about your medi-gels and stuff like that because you're only going to have so many during an operation, so kind of keep that in mind. It's not so bad on normal and easy mode, but on higher difficulties, you might want to heat sink. That reduces how much heat your weapon generates, so that can be good for like assault rifles as well. Right now, we can only equip one upgrade per gun. Some guns can do multiple ones, but we haven't gotten to that yet. Uh-oh. Okay. You know, let's activate barrier just so I... Oh, yeah, barrier is indicated by that, like, if you... Can you see on Shepard there where there's that red bar? That's my health bar, and then right next to it, to the right, is my current shield. As you can see, Kai only has one bar because that's his basic shields. But if he casts barrier, do the same thing. It gives that bump there, so... Anyway, we'll use warp, why not? Yeah, see, as they do bits of damage and stuff like that. Very nice. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit far away, but I'm trying to keep it from taking too much extra damage, so that way we can hold on the medi-gel. Although, like I said, I'm not playing that hard of a mode, so I could probably suffer from... Yeah, I'm killing those gas bags just because I want to. I'm just trying to keep as, like... if I was playing on Sandy mode, I'm probably being too cautious, because this veteran mode isn't that much harder than normal mode. I just have to be kind of aware, that's all. Okay, well, anyway. Let me go grab that medikit. I think the max medi-gel you can grab in a counter is 9, I believe. So, but yeah, just if you're playing on harder modes, obviously you have to be more aware of the, what's your account? I think we've grabbed everything on it. Like I said, there's not too much stuff that's like that hidden away, for the most part. Not until later, and even then. Man, what are those things? What do they do to that boy? Jesus Christ! Well, whatever those robot things are, because you can tell they're robots. Alright. Well, lady, I think we saw you in the, yeah, it spoils it for us. We saw you in that video footage, but, okay, pink and yellow and or white in combat. Yep, that's clearly a good, what's, tactical, camouflage. Great. Anyway, these are Geth. Well, anyway, let's see. Yeah, we'll throw you. Oh yeah, they've got, as you can tell, if you can tell in the top right corner, you can see their health bars. You can also see the little bars there. They've also got shields. Geth do not, I mean, not to spoil anything, but Geth cannot do biotics, so they'll be doing shields for the most part. So anyway, let's throw up barrier. And I mean, these guys aren't super hard, but I'm just showing you that. So yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's why this, like when you activate the ability. Where'd you go? There you are. But yeah, when you activate overkill, it's really cool. Like it shows that little, it showed that little reticle, and you just shoot like super fast. It's glorious. Anyway, let's talk to this lady. Maybe she can tell us what's going on around here.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, sir?
Yeah, I'm here. So Gunnery Chief. I'm actually not familiar with Navy and military protocol. I assume that's a sergeant of some sort, but she would have called herself a sergeant, so you'll have to forgive me. Are you okay? What happened here? We're on a mission.
I need a status report, now.
Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Man. Well, these things look kind of nasty, and they apparently put people on spikes. Jeez. What happened to your unit?
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
Sounds typical. Well, if it ain't the burning of a peasant village, it's you're the last living unit in a... don't blame yourself. What killed them? You abandoned them, Gunnery Chief.
You just left the rest of your unit behind to die?
We held our position as long as we could. The Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use an extra gun, but you're not part of this unit. You know, you know too much. You know too much.
Lieutenant Alenko and I will take care of this.
Let me come with you, sir. The Geth slaughtered my unit. Give me a chance to get even.
She knows the area, Commander, and we could use the extra firepower.
You make a good... I mean, I said that earlier, but a good idea. Okay, fine. God, fine.
Just don't forget who's in charge.
Understood, Commander. You give the orders and I'll follow them.
Yep. Well, at least she's a good soldier, so... All right, well, tell me, before we run into combat, let's have a long investigation about what we're doing.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
So a mysterious race outside of like a gas cloud that appeared out of nowhere, that appears here for some reason. But why, though?
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
Well, I mean, that's what everyone's saying, so it's got to be true. And the scientists?
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Why do I get a feeling that that's not the case?
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
I guess there's no way to prepare for, like, sentient robot things that come out of some Perseus Veil out of nowhere, like some goddamn jack-in-the-box.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime, none that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
What do you mean that he carries enough to take out a whole platoon? It looked like he had like a dinky little shotgun there. Maybe he's a biotic or something like that. Anyway, let's go.
Move out.
Okay, well, we finally get our official soldier character of the group. Yeah, it wasn't Jenkins at all. It's Ashley Williams. I actually like Ashley, at least in this game. She kind of changes a bit over the series, which obviously realistically for a person, but I'm not sure how I like her in the third game. If I ever get to that game, I'll talk about it then. But I liked her in this game. Now, some people have some issues with her character. We'll get to that when we ever get to the social interactions of the game, because like most BioWare games, you have sections of the game where you can talk to the characters that join your team and learn more about them and everything like that. But yeah, Ashley's our soldier character. On the higher difficulties, if I'm not playing a soldier, I definitely use Ashley in my group. Like I said, it's nice to have a bullet sponge in the group, and Ashley's definitely one of the obviously better ones because of that. And like with me, I'm gonna make her an assault rifle user, so give her overkill. And I think, let's see, I think I might want to, well, on higher difficulties, I definitely want to go over for agility, or for adrenal and boost. Maybe, let's see, I'm just trying to think how I want to build her this early in the game. Probably we're at since lower levels, I think pure damage will suffice. We'll do assault training. We'll try to beef her up as soon as we can. So, but yeah, she's the second official party member that joined our team, because we got Kaiden and Ashley over here. So, oh, and yeah, you can see how the game tries to load in every time I switch to a character. Doesn't happen all the time, but anyway. Now, like most, I gained a level as well. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Let's just do. Yeah, let's improve our armor so we can get shield boost. And then... let's do damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay. Do you have anything to say, Ashley?
We thought this world was safe until the Geth showed up.
Until the Fire Nation attacked.
Check your targets. Could be friendlies.
Okay. Anyway, thanks, Kaiden. Now, if you like in most BioWare games, and I don't know if this is, I don't think this is much of a spoiler personally. Okay. In most of the chemical rounds of these are different types of rounds. These do specifically different types of damage. I'll show that here in a second. We also get a grenade. Oh yeah, I forgot to show off grenades. I might show that off in the next combat. Oh, we get armor for humans. Why does it say human specifically? I wonder. Well, let's show that off really quick. The equipment screen allows you to view, equip, and upgrade your gear. Wait, why didn't it show this earlier? But anyway, you can talks about dismantling weapons if you're not using them, to break them down for Omnigel, for other uses. Oops, sorry. Whew. Okay, let's just look at us again, for example. So if we go to upgrades, we can, you see there that there's an ammo upgrade. I think that was there before, but we didn't have any ammo upgrades. Ammo upgrades change like what type of weapon you're using, or what type of the weapon will do. So in this case, Fastic rounds will change the force into kinetic damage. So it does more shield damage, but when it actually hits flesh, it does less damage. So this is good against enemies with higher shield targets, and also if you don't have like shield abilities, like if you don't have an engineer in your group and stuff like that, you might equip shield stuff like Fastic rounds. I tend not to equip those, at least on lower difficulties, just because it lowers damage, and a lot of things don't have shield on normal mode and stuff like that. Chemical rounds do toxic damage, so if you hit so much on a target, they'll have like a buildup, and then when it hits that total buildup, they'll start doing toxic damage, and it'll hit them. This only really works on shielded targets, so if they're shielded, you can't hit them with toxic, unfortunately. And then we also got armor too. So over the course of the game, look what the game tells us what the bonuses are for. There's almost no reason to keep an old set of armor, even if you like the look of it. Just get whatever's better. This is an RPG. Always go for the better, higher numbers. Yeah, look at that. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, the damage protection is pretty obvious. That reduces how much damage you take. Shields is how much shields you can store before they run out. And tech and biotic protection is against tech attacks, which engineers do, and biotic attacks, which adepts and others do. So, all right. Oh, is there another? Did Kaiden gain? I think Kaiden got some points as well. You'll always, for the most part, you'll always gain 3 experience points, and your allies will only gain 2. That's because you have a lot more skills and stuff to build up as opposed to them. So keep that in mind. I might build up his Sentinel just to reduce his so he can use his biotics more frequently. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get through this like roughly as quickly as I can. Basically, this episode is going to be Eden Prime, so we won't stop until I finish the mission. Oh yeah, there's some other little details I can go over here. You can see there. I think the game's going to show this to us later on, but on normal and easy mode, you don't have to worry about this too much. On higher difficulties, you might want to take advantage of placement. What that means is you can tell your allies to move into strategic positions, and if it's behind like a rock or a wall, they'll most likely duck and cover, which will reduce their, obviously they'll take less damage, and they'll pop up and take pot shots at the enemy, and usually they won't move until you move past them or the battle is over, for the most part. Usually up is setting them, down is reset, and then I think left or right dictates like which one you choose. Like if you choose left, you choose them to target a specific target. So anywho, okay, so whoops, I did not want to do that. That's very always an let me show off grenades. So if you press the select button, and then if you press select again, you might if you do it at the right time, you can tell your you can have it explode. Oh, I took too much damage, or almost about to take damage. Let me shield boost. Yeah, like at lower levels, you don't really have to worry too much about strategic positioning. On higher difficulties, yes, because otherwise your allies will get knocked out like every damn second. You know, it's pretty annoying at the higher difficulties. It's almost like you're playing by yourself if you're not careful. But anyway, Yep, that was it for that. So, okay. Oh, here's the dig site.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Any survivors? Let's go. We're wasting time. We gotta get to the Geth.
Let's get moving. Williams, where's the camp?
It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Now, when you're talking with certain companions, if you're doing...
Shepard, there's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
When you're talking to companions, you might want to keep in mind, like, when it comes to the left or right side of the dialogue tree. Obviously, right side of the dialogue tree is, like, usually just for major renegade paragon and just conversation enders. Left sides are for investigate as well as influence on the companion. So depending on the companion or what Shepard you're playing as, and if you're interested in that new assault rifle, new sniper rifle, and a heatsink as well. If you're interested in a certain character, you might consider being nicer to them, which is the top left option instead of the bottom left option, which I've been doing. I'm kind of doing a theme here, but like if you're interested in Ashley, like when you were talking to her, maybe not like give her the grief, especially if you're talking to her in social settings. If you want to know more about her and maybe get closer to her, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. So keep that in mind.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
Yep, and he's actually right. Let's see. We got a new assault rifle. So actually, that's... Usually I tend to give myself the best weapons first. And then I... actually, let me remove these. Because I'm going to swap out my my weapon. I usually tend to give myself... If I have the same weapon and another companion has the same weapon, I tend to give myself the best ones first. Because usually I'm going to be more proactive than the allies are. So anyway, this just gives us more damage. So obviously better weapon. So... yeah, we'll keep with weapon stability and chemical rounds, which they weirdly work on the Geth. I don't know why, they just do. Oh, we leveled up again. So sorry, this is gonna happen quite often, especially at the beginning of the game. Yeah, we can unlock stasis at this point. I can't buy it yet, but what I try to do when I level up, I try to unlock the next abilities as quickly as I can, so I can actually use them in combat, or have the ability to. So if I'm like out of tricks, I always want to have something else to do. So I try to get to the unlock abilities as soon as I can. Obviously on basic armor, since I'm not going to be using pistols, I can just unlock basic armor until that. But, you know, keep that in mind as well. Also, your allies won't gain experience points. I think at certain levels they'll start reducing it from 2 to 1, if I recall. Yeah, let's get your assault training up a little bit. And then let's give you a boost of soldier just to kind of get you that health regeneration. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested in Ashley, okay.
Oh God, they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
These are husks. These are basically people who have been turned into like whatever the Geth have thrown at us. They'll basically just charge you for the most part, so I think I can just kill them by myself. On higher difficulty, they'll... Oh, yeah, I forgot. What they do is they... if you don't kill the husk enough, they'll do like a discharge, so it'll immediately like remove your shields. So you have to be careful about that. Yeah, see how I threw the husk when it was at so low HP or whatever? So, yeah. Yeah, husk can be... On the higher difficulty, husk can be really dangerous because, like I said, they'll explode and destroy your shields if you let them get that close. So, yeah, be careful about that. So, all right. Krogan? What's a Krogan? Why are we getting their armor? Why does a person have Krogan armor hidden there? Yeah, a bit of a spoiler game, but okay. Yeah, the game didn't do a very good... I think the designers... I think they overall did a good job with this game, but they kind of dropped the pooch when it came to, like, spoilers and other such things because of the randomization. Because of the randomization factor in this game, so they kind of screwed up there, so, oh well. Edge. Quarian? What's a Quarian? Game? Anyway, we get new light armor, so take it all. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's the problem with them doing the randomization system when it comes to, like, whoops. when it came to like random chests and stuff like that is because it basically spoiled bits of the game before you got it. I mean, true, it didn't tell you everything, but it's like, okay, with that armor, we're clearly going to get a Krogan, and we're clearly going to get a Quarian, whatever that is. So, thanks for that. So, anyway, another problem, probably another, like, minor, oh, that's light armor. We'll give that to, well, at this point in the game, actually, is that? No. We'll give it to Kaiden because these people don't really have, I mean, there is some tech ability, sort of, but overall it's better. You want to give, like, obviously you want to, God, that's a terrible color. You want to give, obviously, your light armors to your, like, non-soldiers, and obviously save your medium or heavy armors for, like, Ashley when we get to it. She can equip, I think she can equip light armor. It'll show, like, it'll show her, she looks just like one of us, but we actually don't want to, we want to keep her on, like, whatever the best armor is for her, so, yeah. Unless you really like the look, I wouldn't mess with it. Anyway, oh, decryption. Oh, yeah, decryption, which Kaiden has, allows to open up, can also be used outside of combat to open locks and stuff like that. So if you're, you kind of want to have at least a character. If you don't have decryption, you kind of want to have a character in your group to have decryption. And I got to remember to remind myself to improve Kaiden's decryption off screen so I can actually, because there might be some things in the level we might miss because I won't have a high enough decryption rating. Luckily, this isn't easy, so we don't have to worry about it too much, but later on, that might be different, so I have to remember to do that. So, and just follow the button prompts. If you miss it, then, if you miss it, you can do it again, but you'll have to use Omnigel to reset the code to do that. So that's another reason why you might want to have Omnigel. Or you just save it before you do a test like that, which is what you... Save scumming. That's the age of all RPGs, so... Anyway, anyone in here?
Humans. Thank the Maker.
Hurry! Close the door before they come back.
Well, I think I killed them all. You're safe. Who are you? Tell me what happened.
How did you end up in this shed?
We hid here during the attack. They must have come here for the beacon. Luckily, it wasn't here. It was moved to the spaceport earlier this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
Man, this guy went insane after the attack at the Geth, I guess. Huh. Sorry, dude.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. One second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
I can't blame you. You're just civilians. You're only human.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack. That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Well, they say the crazy people sometimes have some insight into things, but yeah, like Kaiden's right. The Nihilus wasn't there. That's weird. And Ashley said there were no Turians on this planet.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
This guy's talking like he's out of a fantasy game or something like that. This is science fiction, damn it. We talk about real stuff over here, like Geth and space aliens and stuff like that.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Well, I can shut him up.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard.
Oh my god! What did you do?
That might have been a little extreme, Commander.
You can't just go around whacking people in the head.
I like the punch animation because it's clearly not like there's a specific animation for punching, and it's not a cutscene where you punch him. It goes into his animation stills, and then he punches the guy, so it looks a little weird when he does it. That happens multiple times in the game. Oh yes, folks, there's multiple times where Shepard will punch a person, so that'll be fun. He's better off. He's okay. He had to come in.
It was only a matter of time until he did something crazy and dangerous.
I suppose you're right. By the time he wakes up, the meds will have kicked in.
See? That's what this game proves to us. Violence is always the right answer.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
Good luck, Commander.
Then we get a bunch of renegade for punching out a poor man who's only been traumatized by this situation. So, I think sometimes in this game that chest has something in it, but I don't know if that's a glitch or not. Not everything does, but you'd be surprised how often in this game where certain things aren't targeted by the, like, looking at it sometimes. So, do you say anything else?
Yes? Is there something you need?
No. I'm surprised
We
she's not
better get moving.
more pissed that I
Good luck,
punched
Commander.
a person with some mental problems. But anyway. This is why I love being Renegade. It is so much more. If you haven't already guessed, folks, I'm going to play a Renegade Shepard this playthrough. I like Paragon Shepard, but man, Renegade's so much more fun.
Saren. Nihilus. This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
What was that noise? I love that, like, we can actually...
What
well,
is that? Off in the distance.
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
holy shit! Look at that thing. It's like some Cthulhu nightmare. Oh, man. Who designs a ship such as that? He's getting away. I must go home to my planet now. Must go to my people now. My planet needs me. Oh, I just ruined a serious moment, folks. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen a lot in this game. But yeah, I love the fact that we can actually hear the shot, and if you haven't already guessed what happens to Nihilists, then I feel bad for you. Yeah, it looks like this Saren is whoever the other Turian that the one doctor said. So okay, so we're in a firefight here, so probably go ahead and set them in that. I don't think I have to worry about that too much, but this is one of the first like major firefights of this combat. So let me go in barrier me. Let's take care of the husk before he comes in and where he hits us with the attack. It looks like we got a couple of oh yeah, in combat you'll notice like things like containment cells and stuff like that. They're basically the red barrels of the game where they'll explode and do stuff. So containment will cause like toxin to fill, and there's like also like explosive barrels and stuff like that. So okay, so there's another husk over there. Let's get you to Commander, you gotta use throw like I told you to. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes even when you choose the characters to use throw, if sometimes oh yeah, you can also, if you if Shepard gets like backed into like a wall or something like that, yeah, you can kind of go into like cover mode or whatever. Yeah, this one's going a little bit more annoying because of the 75 done much against the husk. But is that it for all the threats? Yes. Okay. Oh, this might be the first door I might not be able to open. Oh, okay, cool. We can still do it. Easy decryption. Sometimes I'll actually build a character if I'm not going to use engineer classes in my game, I might actually build my Shepard when you unlock the decryption via achievements. I'll sometimes give my Shepard decryption just so I can always bring whoever I want into a party and not have to be required to have a decryption user, for example. But luckily, Kaiden's with us, so we can open these doors. So usually I don't fail these, but there's every once in a while I have.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out. We're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
Oh, good. Now I can... Oh, sorry. I forgot they were still talking. Is it safe? They're gone. Stop right there!
Nobody moves a muscle until we know who you are.
Nice going, Cole. I told you we should have stayed hidden.
It's okay. We're all on the same side here. We're just farmers. We've been hiding ever since that ship first showed up.
Well, I don't know. We have those Geth-like machines and whatever else, and they can apparently turn them into these husks. Who knows you're not a husk in disguise? Answer me!
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen these things like we have, so regular people, they're dead.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
I guess a farmer wouldn't really care about that stuff. It's all about just living and surviving out in the middle of butt scum nowhere.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
That's odd. I wonder why that is. Nah, it's probably nothing. Was it a jamming signal?
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
It gives you a major migraine. Well, that's annoying.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
Give them the stuff? What do you mean, drugs? Or guns or something like that? I could always use more guns. You should come clean. What's going on? I don't like being lied to.
If there's something you're not telling me.
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
What? You've been contraband? Those could be used for soldiers and crap like that. They could have survived this whole encounter. You assholes. Smuggling's a crime like what? That's why you ran here, isn't it, criminal scum?
You greedy bastard. You weren't running for your life. You were running to check on your merchandise.
No, it's not like that. I just knew there were some packages here, something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
Well, this is the first, one of the first Paragon choices. It is possible to not have enough points to do Paragon or Renegade. Unfortunately, this is one of those games that you kind of have to just choose a path and go with it. There are certain decisions you can kind of mix and match, but if you want to be efficient in the game, and also you could buy the points. I could have bought the Intimidate points, and what that does is improves our Renegade enough to hit certain ticks that you need. I forgot how many points you actually need for Renegade. I think you need like 10 to unlock the first box here. Like thanks is just normal, and obviously Paragon is that. Thanks, you get the pistol. That's it. So, you know, and if you don't have anything, that's fine to get. Give it to me or thanks. If you just want to be rude. And is that all, or this, or you're holding out on me, are both options to get something extra. Like I said, I could have easily, if I hadn't been going all Renegade, I wouldn't have had enough points of this, and I would have had to buy Intimidate before this to get this. But luckily, focusing on being a douche gets us this option here. So, you're holding on to me. Where are the drugs?
I'm only going to ask this once. Think long and hard before you lie to me again. Are you sure all you've got is one lousy pistol?
No, wait. I just remembered. I just had it in my pocket. You might as well take that too. That's everything, really.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
Okay, so unfortunately I don't have enough tick. I think you have to have like 20 Renegade or 30 Renegade for this, which unfortunately sucks because, yeah, I didn't... if I bought in the points, I could have gone... I almost thought about just kind of not doing my pure, like... pure like metagame build, and I would have bought some Intimidate before this anyway, you do miss out on some extra content. I think you miss out on like some grenades and a couple of like a couple of upgrades for your gun. It's not the biggest deal, mind you. You can miss this and be fine. I'm just, you know, but anyway.
Okay, forget about it. I've got more important things to worry about.
Good luck.
So yeah, unfortunately, I do get the pistol and I do get a upgrade for intimidating the man. I would have gotten the chance to find like a we're gonna run across another guy who this guy tells us about, and we would have been able to get something out of him, but because we didn't get that from him, we lose out on it. So oh well. So I'm not using a pistol, so we'll give this to Kaiden. We'll give him the Stinger. Yeah, that's a nice. If I wasn't using assault rifles, which, you know, hit or miss, but yeah, let's give. Well, first of all, let's remove. Oh wait, I didn't upgrade his things, did I? So, oh no. Okay. Let's give him the Stinger. Yes, excellent. We'll give you. Oh yeah, that combat sensor, that basically improves like when on their mini detection screen, like yeah, as it shows there, it shows like your enemies. That's kind of, I don't know, I never found that very useful, but you know, yeah, we'll just give you sighting. Whoops, and nah, we'll just leave the bullets on. Okay, cool. Do you have anything else to say?
I came here to get away from the stress of living on Earth. Yeah.
We're just a small farming colony. Why did they attack us?
You need something?
Let's see, now we already asked them all.
I have to go.
I have to go now.
Good luck.
We got nothing there. I forgot if there was something inside there. Okay, they did. Oh, I don't have the electronic skill. That's right. I'd forgotten about this. There's two different skills in the game that help with it out in the combat scenarios. It's decryption and electronics. Electronics helps you open like chests and stuff like that you can't. Yeah, that's the skill that I usually end up giving like my characters, because at the very beginning of the game you can't unlock this without someone. Now it's like all the other chests, it's randomized based off your level. So all I miss out on is, I think it's just a couple upgrades. I don't think you get any guns or armor from this, but I could be wrong. I think it's just mainly weapon upgrades. So unfortunately I missed out on that, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. But you might consider bringing an electronics player with you, or using the electronic skill when you do a replay through with the achievement unlock function. So like I said, not a big deal, but something to consider. Yeah, I actually forgotten about that. This is what happens when you don't play a game for so long. So sorry if I'm running around in like circles or weaving in and out. I'm just trying to see if there's random treasure chests I might have, or chests. But you can miss quite a few of these and be fine, especially on the low difficulties, because all it is like I said, you could get Omni gels or sell them for credits later. So
Commander,
there's Nihilus.
It's Nihilus.
So that's what that gunshot was.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
You need to be more careful. Who are you? You're a coward!
I like the way you hid behind those crates during the fight. Really helped us out. Thanks a lot.
Me? But I'm just a dock worker. I don't even have a weapon. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
What happened to that Turian? Yeah, I mean, I understand. Like, even though we're pissed, I kind of understand why he didn't help, because, like I said, he didn't have a gun. So, tell me what happened. It wasn't the Geth. Another one.
What the hell are you talking about?
There were two Turians here. Your friend and another one he called Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
Being a coward saved you this day. Then what? What about the beacon?
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
And they didn't find you?
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
Yeah, well, I mean, he did survive technically, so I guess you... Anyway, lucky break for you. You make me sick. Blah!
You ditch work. Then you cower back here and do nothing while the Geth butcher everyone else.
I don't even have a gun. What was I supposed to do? Run out there and die? I couldn't save them. Nobody could. It was horrible.
Tell me about the Geth attack.
It was quick. 1 minute that ship was descending, the next, those Geth were swarming over the platform. Thousands of them. They must have been inside that mothership. They shot anything that moved. It was a massacre.
A mothership, huh? So they can say that's a transport. Man, Geth have really weird ships, apparently.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the beacon?
They brought it here this morning. We loaded it up onto the train and shipped it to the other platform. Hard to believe that was only a few hours ago. Feels like a whole other life.
Yeah, most people feel like that when it comes to war or like a situation that just kind of abrupt. You just feel like it's peaceful next, and the next day, boom.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
Another case of that headache. Huh. Weird. That's some weird censoring or weird sensor disruptor or something like that. Odd.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
Now, if you... now, because I messed... well, I don't know if I'd say I messed up, because that's just the way I'm playing it, playing the game. If you've got the information of who the smuggler was from those farmers over there, they would have... we would have found out it was this dude, and we could have gotten something from him. Like I said, it would have been some grenades, and we bring it up when we talk to him. Yeah, that was kind of abrupt and silly, but... Oh, there's another Geth around here. As you can see on that in the lower right-hand corner, it tells us where the enemies are. Depending on our detection, at higher levels, like some enemies can be hidden to the sensor there. That's why you might want to have the detector on later screens. I think it's more useful at like higher difficulties and stuff like that. Anyway. Oh, we knocked him off into the thing. Yeah, in the original game here, the mechanics of... I was going to keep exploring. I wasn't ready for combat to begin. I think I moved too far forward. But anyway, Cole is the smuggler. And yeah, I think you get some... he basically gives you some... we get some hammerhead rounds and radioactive rounds. I'll talk about that after the battle, what those do. Yeah, and since there's enemies technically in the area, I have to keep in this... I think I can get out of this form at any time, but it's usually not best to not do that. But yeah, anyway, as I was talking about like the physics in this game, man, the physics of the game are kind of funny. Like how that you could just like fling people and throw them away. You could get some crazy stuff to go on in it. Unfortunately, they kind of tempered that in the later games. Unfortunately, because they had to streamline a lot of it. This is probably one of the more difficult sections of the this area, like on the harder modes, because of like the Geth basically have us in kind of like a what they call it a murder hole situation, where you're kind of like stuck in you have to force yourself into sabotage is really useful for blowing up grenade or containments and stuff like that, because it'll 9 times out of 10 it'll automatically destroy them, and that way you don't have to like kind of focus on them like to try and hit them to get the destroyer. These are kind of the heavy hitters of the Geth. We're just they'll like basically charge at you and do like a bunch of damage. So there we go. Yeah, harder difficulties obviously are more annoying because they'll just like charge like right into you. Yeah, usually I would be like ducking behind like stuff to protect myself from being shot. Oh, Kaiden's out. Oops. Oops. I wasn't paying attention to. Whoops. Ah, press the wrong button. Okay. I need to shield boost. And need to actually use all our abilities already, huh? Oh yeah, the Geth over the course of the game will pop those like little shield things, so you have to kind of blast past them to use warp on them. Yeah, this is why this is one of the more dangerous areas, because like I said, Kaiden got knocked out. I should have put them into oh yeah, and I showed you what happens when you overheat too. I should have put Kaiden into cover, because like I said, this is probably one of the more dangerous sections of this map because of that. So yeah, I might, because of the way I'm playing this game, I'm not doing like a 100% perfect, like I get everything run. I've got a specific way I want to play this one, and it might not be appealing to people who want to see like a person do everything. I'll try to do as much stuff as I can, but the way I'm playing, I might miss out on stuff because I'll either won't have the points for it, or I want to see a specific reaction out of a character or something like that. So kind of keep that in mind. But anyway, this takes us to the next section. Yeah, I better go and heal. You know, need to Kaiden up at his best. You do get, the reason you might not want to use Medigels is if you hit your max Medigel and you grab a Medigel in combat, you'll get 100 extra credits. So if you're trying to min-max credits, that's one way to min-max them, is not using
Accept the charges.
Medigels.
Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Man, I love the soundtrack to this game. Too bad it changes quite. I mean, I like the magic in the second game as well, quite a bit, but it does kind of loses a certain charm in the later games of the soundtrack. But I still like the soundtrack overall. I'm just kind of looking over my stuff really quick because we're in a. If you saw in the counter before I paused it, we're actually in a timer encounter. We have to stop those bombs before they go off. Let's see, you do not have anything equipped, so we'll give you heat sink and radioactive rounds. What those do is that they basically make the character sick and they reduce their cooldown reaction. So basically their abilities won't activate as much. Those are useful against like engineers and adepts and stuff like that. Hammerhead, those will push. I'm not 100% sure of how this works in the game. It just says it gives you force, so maybe it's supposed to be used to do like extra damage or push the targets or something like that, possibly knocking them over. But I've never. That's one of those like few things I'm not really sure if that actually what that actually does, based on the description there. Okay, you have yours. Oh yeah, and I'm the only person who has a grenade. Well, actually, maybe I get a grenade upgrade from that one guy. Anyway, okay, let's see, recoil, and we'll keep what we got there. I don't think I have any armor upgrades yet, do I? Okay. And I think Kaiden, I did Kaiden's like a pistol earlier, didn't I? Oh no, okay, I only gave him a sighting. Yeah, we'll give you the radioactive rounds here, so. Okay, we're on it. Oh, right, I should level up really quick. Okay. Oh yeah, see where I got that tick of boxes because I hit so much Renegade that it automatically gave me Intimidate. So yeah, over the course of the games, if you hit so much Renegade, you'll automatically get these bumped up anyway. I think I needed a tick in a box number 2 to score 2 to get that one dialogue from that one group, but oh well. Okay, I'm gonna activate stasis so I can actually use that. And since I don't need to unlock pistols, that one's not as important to me. Let's get, I think maybe want to get warp up a bit. I don't want to do throw. Well, there's quite a few levels till that. And yeah, also how many ticks you can put into something, that's based off your level. You can't just like put all your points in one and max out like right at the very beginning of the game. It actually kind of divvies it out a little bit for you. Yeah, let's get warped up a bit. Kaiden, yeah, let's get your symbol up so you can. I kind of want Kaiden. I kind of want allies to get their abilities as soon as they can. So I kind of try to stress cooldown for them more than anything. And also we want to get his oh yeah, I could have gotten Kaiden's electronics up before that the whole thing. Yeah, sorry folks. I might have misplanned this a little bit. Sorry. Oh well. That's what happens when you don't play a game in a long time. You forget like minute details of what you want to do in the game before it came to that point. So yeah, let's go unlock let's go unlock fitness. Like I said, I want to kind of put a tick in everything is my plan for the characters. So oh well. Like I said, losing out on that treasure isn't the biggest deal.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down.
Yeah, 4 minutes. We should be able, even on insanity mode, I can do this pretty efficiently. One of the best things in combat mode here is you get the dash function. As you can see there on the side, that little bar there, that's my stamina. Obviously, I can't just go charging in on everything, so I wasn't actually trying to talk to you, but okay. Let me try. Okay. Throw. Yeah, if you get fatigued, you can't. Yeah, see how the guy just got flung? Okay, I'm gonna set you guys there while I disarm this other bomb here. Okay. Yeah, this can be another challenging part of the game here because you're kind of in a rush mode to get those bombs. So. Uh-oh, they're using rockets on me. Rocket Man. Actually, I'm kind of surprised how often throw works even on the shield here. Usually it's supposed to prevent stuff from that occurring, so. I have to move up my allies. Okay, disarm that. Okay. What are you doing out in the open, Ashley? Well, you can actually take it more than the other characters, so. Yeah, only show stasis. Yeah, see, it even tells you that they're in stasis, so. So yeah, you can. And as soon as yeah, we had to wait till. Unfortunately, yeah, I was about to say we had to wait till he actually gets out of stasis. And the game tells you where the bombs are, so that's so you don't have to look all over the map for the bombs. You're like, where are they? You're like, no, they're right there. So yeah, it's not that difficult. Well, I said even on insanity mode, I can usually do it within a couple of minutes. So. Yep, we did it. So, yay. If you don't hit it, it's game over. Yeah, you lose out. You have to, it reload. You have to go. It basically does the game over music if you fail. So, because obviously this place gets blown up. So, I'm doing a double check to see if there's any. I don't think there are. Like, a lot of areas are surprisingly empty when it comes to, like, treasures and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'll have to, now that I kind of almost wish I'd done like a kind of a mini test run for this before playing, just so I could remember to activate like decryption and electronics and stuff like that. But overall, I'm happy. I kind of oh yeah, I gotta press down on the pad to get them to reset. Or at least down. I believe down is where they're supposed to start coming after me or following me now. But I kind of wish maybe I hadn't spent like 20 minutes at the beginning talking about the combat mechanics. Ooh, heavy armor. We can't wield that, and Ashley cannot yet because I didn't give her. She doesn't have heavy armor yet, so she can't wield it yet. You could, if you leveled it up correctly. If you leveled it up enough, we could have gotten. Which one is oh no, I guess we couldn't do this level. Never mind. I thought you could get heavy armor by this point. Maybe if I did like did all the decryption and electronics, maybe I would have had enough experience. But that seems like way too low. So maybe it's just something for later. Uh-oh. Okay, the next. I wouldn't say difficult. This part isn't as bad just because but okay. Anyway. Throw. Oh man, that's so much fun. I miss doing this in the later games. You can do it to some extent in the later games, but it's just because of how crazy the physics are. So, haha. You can even, if you're lucky, you can even like fling people like off of like platforms and stuff like that if you do it right. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, decryption. Okay. Yeah. It's weird. Kind of some items in the game require decryption, and others require electronics. So it's kind of odd. So. Oh well. Even on the harder difficulties, usually harder decryptions aren't that much more. So we get a pistol, assault rifles. You'll notice later on in the game, I'll start kind of just going through items I collect and not even pay attention because of the randomness of treasure dumping. So, so forgive me if you're curious what I get, because like I said, it can be random at times. I know some chests will be like, oh, it has to have an upgrade. Oh, it has to have a weapon, and so forth. Ooh, we get a new armored shotgun. But yeah, at some point in the game, I'll start like just kind of clicking OK. Just to get to the next get to the keep on with the action, and then I'll go over what items I have either off screen or when the action dies down for a hot minute. Ooh, here's some Omnigel storage locker, which usually has Omnigel or medicine in it. Heat sink. Okay, so it didn't have any of that, but that's fine. You get money as well, credits. Obviously, credits can be used to buy goods and services, which. Yeah, and unfortunately, the dash function, that like super dash I had, that only happens if we're in combat. Like if we're in a combat situation, then it'll actually like let me dash. If it's not, unfortunately, we lose out on it. I kind of wish you got the dash when you pulled out your weapon, so that way I could like go through areas like this quicker, without having to like do my dinky little run, But oh well. I think we found everything here, so. I'll try to be more aware of like where items are in the future, so it's not me taking forever like trying to find everything on a map. I might have already missed some stuff, but like I said, that's just some extra credits I could easily not need. You don't actually need to max out your credits. Well, okay, you kind of do later on, but there's a ways to be super efficient about that. So here's the beacon that everyone's been crawling on about, and Nihilus apparently searched it and ran off. What is inside the beacon? Well, what will investigating it learn for Shepard and his crew? Will it change his destiny forever and put us on the path to being a hero? Find out next time in the next episode of Mass Effect. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.